Hey Ringside crew, welcome to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. And now here's your host, Joe Panther III.
Hello there, wrestling fans. Welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I am Joe Panther III, and we are in the middle of UK Wrestling Month. And I have a gentleman that is absolutely blazing a trail for himself on the international independent wrestling scene. Introduce yourself to my internationally known audience.
Hello, I am Blake Matthews.
Awesome. So, Blake, what made you get into wrestling?
So it all started probably from when I was young. Like my dad was just watching it on TV, and I just walked in, started watching it with him. That's what got me hooked, and then it just became like a weekly thing watching it with him, and then started playing like the video games, started playing with some of my friends, and then it just became, I think that I want to do this. Came from watching like people like Jeff Hardy, like sort of similar to my size, and I was like, if he can do it, then I can. And then I just got in touch with like my best friend, EJ Walsh. Then we just found a school nearby and just started training.
Awesome. So, how long did it take you to decide where you wanted to train?
It was literally we just Googled wrestling schools nearby, and luckily for me, there was one which was like a 20-minute walk away from where I lived. It was just like the luckiest thing ever, and just started going.
That's like scratching a lottery ticket, seeing a lottery ticket that somebody scratched, and that I lost, and then you run and say, "Ooh, a lottery ticket," and then you win $1,000. You win the jackpot.
It was the luckiest thing ever.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. So when you first stepped through the doors, did you like? What were you like? What were the feelings going through inside you when you first walked through the doors?
It was a lot of nerves, to be honest, because I was like 15, like 14, 15, just walking in and just seeing all these like bigger men just like grappling, running the ropes, locking up and stuff, and it was just scary. And then obviously you noticed like, oh, here's a new person, so go and introduce ourselves. And it was like the person who was running it came up and was just like, "Hi, are you interested in wrestling?" And I said, "Yeah." And then just signed the paperwork and just got started.
Oh wow!
It was very scary.
Yeah, it's everything's like that with wrestling. Seems to be scary at first until you take your first bump. Like, what was the first bump that they made you take in school?
It was just a simple flat back, done it on a crash mat first. So they were like, that's what it's going to be like. They just did the thing where you squat down, arms crossed, and just fall back. Did that on a crash mat, and they were like, okay, get in the ring. And they had somebody like bend down on all fours. So I sat on their back and did it that way. And it took the wind out of me.
Oh my gosh.
Because obviously it was like my first time doing it. I didn't have my arms in the right place and I didn't land properly, and I was gassed already. And it was quite a shock because I thought, oh, it'll be padding, it'll just be like falling on a bed. It wasn't.
No.
It was a surprise.
So when you went home after that first time you were in practice, did you feel any different? Did you feel like this is for you? Like, what were you thinking?
Honestly, I was thinking this is gonna hurt in the morning, and it did. I woke up the next morning just in agony, but I was like, I can do this again because it was on Saturday and Sunday. So I went for Saturday for my first session, and then I went back Sunday. I was like, this is for me. I'm gonna keep going. I just loved it instantly. Nothing beats the first feeling stepping through them ropes. It was just instantly. It was amazing.
Do you remember your first do you remember the first time they told you that you were able to go when you got your first green light?
So when I first started training, 2 weeks later, they had a show, and I just watched it as like a fan. And then the next month, they were like, so they had like a showcase and then like a main show. So it was for like the trainees. So they would have like a little show first, and then it was like the main show, similar to like NXT to like Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. It was like that sort of thing. And
Okay.
they were like, "You're gonna have a debut match." It was a tag match. It was me and EJ Walsh versus Christy Quinlan and Matty. We lost obviously because it was odd. It was just a debut, and they were like the champions at the time. But it was a fun little match because they were just like, we've seen you in training. They'll be able to lead you through it. It'll just keep it simple. So and it went fine.
Awesome. It's crazy to think with wrestling, you have to be a certain way and you have to be a certain like weight and height. So when you first came into the school, did you have any muscle mass on you or were you skinny?
No, I was very skinny. I still am, to be honest. So I was very like self-conscious. So I still wore like, because I didn't have gear, obviously, because I was only doing it for like 2 months. So I literally just wrestled in what I trained in, which was just like a pair of like tracksuit pants, a t-shirt, and like the cheapest wrestling shoes that you could find.
Oh,
So,
geez.
it was just like the simplest thing ever. So I didn't really have
Geez.
any muscle mass on me like at all.
Oh,
But because it was only like a trainee thing, they were sort of like, "Oh, it's okay, it's fine," and because it was only like a local thing, and nobody else really was big. Like no one was like jacked. It wasn't like walking in and seeing like the Ultimate Warrior or anything. It was just like your average man.
so when it comes to like your training with the school or on your own, however you do your training, what is your normal training regimen like?
Well, so normally like because the first school that I went to had to close down, so I've been going to like different places, but now I'm set in Wrestle Island. It's called the Island Temple, and they have Saturday and Sunday sessions as well. And it's Sunday, which is like the head coach Sean only, and the normal session will just be like a warm up, which is called like Brookside shuffles and set goes and stuff, and then it's just to get you like warmed up, and then we'll go through like some sequences of a match just to make it like ideal for what you could do in a match to make it better for you,
Mm.
and then it would just be okay. So that's what we've done today. Try and plan a match from start to finish for yourself and see how it goes. So that's normally what a training sessions like in wrestling for me. And then outside of it, like on my own, I'll just try and go to the gym whenever I can because obviously it's hard to work it around work and then university. So it's just trying to find the time.
Yeah, it's crazy because when you're in college and
Mm.
you're a wrestler, do you feel that it's like you have to take things differently because you're in college?
Um, I wouldn't say so. Like, I don't really like think about like because it's weird when I'm wrestling. I don't think about everything else. Like when I'm wrestling, I'm just in wrestling mode, and then I've got my personal life which I keep separate. So I don't really think differently. It's just like I'm just gonna do what I do today and suffer the consequences later. So
Have you ever gone to like university and like you had a crazy match and like you have like a bruise on your arm and you're wearing a
yeah, to
tank top
be
that
fair,
day?
I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but I've got like a bruise here, and
Oh,
I
I
don't even
see
know
it.
what
Oh my!
I don't even know what it's from. I did a rumble last week for Future Wrestling, and I woke up the next morning and just had that. No idea what it's from.
Looks like you got hit by a. It looks like you got you. It looks like you were in like you fell into a vat of blueberries. What?
I have no idea. I just woke up and I was like, "Oh, my arm hurts," and then just looked and just seen that.
Oh my god! Like, what? Do your fellow students see that stuff and go, are you okay?" Like,
Yeah, they just think I'm just getting beaten up.
who hit you? Do I call
Literally, I'm like,
in the
"Oh well,
states?
I couldn't
Do I
tell you."
call? Is it? Do I call 911? Is it abuse? Like, who is doing this to you? Awesome. So when did you officially get your gear? Like, how long did it take you to find a good gear maker?
Well, my first gear was just like a pair of Amazon tights.
Mm.
Like it was just simple. Like they were just very plain, just black and blue. Had a simple design on it. But my first official gear was from a person called M2M. They still do my gear now. And they made me like a pair of biker shorts. If I could find, they're in my suitcase somewhere, but it's just a pair of black biker shorts with just like my logo on the back, very simple, like checkered pattern on it and stuff. So that was in like December 2022. And that's when I had one of my first singles matches on a show as well for Wrestle Island.
I was looking at your gear a few minutes ago because it's on my wall to use for the poster, the thumbnail.
Yeah.
So, your outfit, I get a lot of feelings from the old. Do you remember the wrestler? I don't know if it's showing my age. Hardcore Holly. Do you remember him?
Yes.
Remember when he was remember when he was the racer? He drove the cars. Yeah. It gives me that vibe with the checkered stripes. I'm like, oh man, it reminds me of him.
It's literally just the checkered pattern is literally just like my favorite pattern. So I was like, I'm just going to try and interpret it into my gear because I'll get this. My everyday backpack. It's just a Vans backpack, and this is it.
Oh God, yeah. Oh, there you go.
That's my everyday bag. So I just love that pattern. I don't know why. It's just simple. So just decided to keep it.
I think punk rockers, I think punk, like in the States in the 90s, Vans were like king. Like everybody had to have Vans. Like I had Vans shoes, and everybody had the Vans because the skaters.
Yeah,
I'm surprised you didn't go with
like 6 pair of Vans shoes. I love them.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't go with like a skater gimmick because as a kid, wrestler by me, he's a skater and he comes out with a skateboard and stuff like that.
Well, sadly, I can't skate. Funnily enough.
Oh no!
Like, if I could skate, I would have probably gone into that. But my first like gimmick was when I had like long hair. It was like down to my shoulders, and I was like the head banging, rock and rolling Blake Matthews. Can't really do that now.
No. Well, you could, like the 90s rockers, they all had long hair, and then it got to like the 2000s, their hair was still long, but then now they're all short hair because nobody wants to have long hair. Makes it look too retro. But are there any wrestlers on the scene from the UK countries that you want to like work with, or places you haven't been yet in the UK?
Well, I'd like to try and get down to a promotion called TNT at some point, even if it's just to like ring crew and just get. Yeah, TNT are great. They just had a show today actually, but they're great. I need to try and get down to because they've got a training place as well called Claw, which I need to try and get down to. I'd like to try and get to TNT and like progress. Like they're like the main goals. But people that I'd like to work, Candyman Stan, he's making moves. He's doing great. EJ Walsh, again, he was like my tag partner when I first started, and now he's doing his own thing and he's doing great. There's many people that come to mind. I think I've got a list on my phone of people who I'd like to work actually. If I just try and find it.
Yeah, it's so crazy because I've been dying to work with TNT for a while. I've been trying to get the women's champion on. It's hard because the wrestlers they either don't respond to your message, or they'll respond to your message and they'll totally leave you unread. I'm like, that's not fair. All I want to do is help. Like, why are you so? Yeah,
I'd like to work. There's a wrestler called Padre Quinlan. He's amazing.
Padre Quinlan.
Yeah, he was also the only ever championship match I had where I lost via low blow.
Dude, like when it comes to TNT, because they do a lot of deathmatch. Are you down to if they asked you to do a deathmatch, would you do it?
I'd want to get one under my belt. Like I'd probably be interested in doing just one. But they've also got like their Ignition show, which is just like a normal like wrestling show. So I'd just be down to that as well.
Yeah, it's just crazy with wrestling. But if my fans want to like get anything of yours, where can they find it?
Yeah, you can get me on Instagram, TikTok, and that's about it really. That's all I mainly use is just Instagram and TikTok. But it's just Blake Matthews with the underscores. You'll find me. Awesome. I post all my like clips and stuff on TikTok. So,
well, if you have any clips you want to send to me on Instagram, I'll definitely post them for you on the Instagram and on our TikTok, the Joe Panther Variety Show. If you want to like this video, go give the video a like. Go give my friend Matthews a huge follow on his social medias. Just don't forget to support independent wrestling globally and nationally. I'm Joe Panther III.
I've been Blake Matthews.
And we will catch you in the next one.